We've been talking about how the language that dreams speak is metaphoric. They talk in metaphors instead of literal terms, which is one of the things that makes it challenging to understand dreams. So in this, the fifth of this video series on decoding your dreams, we're going to talk about how you get from the symbol in the dream to the meaning, from the metaphor to the meaning. One thing that doesn't help much is to look in dream books, whether online or paperback or what have you. Whenever anyone says a car means this, you have to be on your guard, because a car in your dream, for instance, can mean something totally different from a car in mine. So there's a more useful technique. It was pioneered in some ways by Freud. This part's useful. His interpretations tend to be pretty one-sided, but he went to France and he heard about the work of a French philosopher and psychologist, Pierre Janet, who would have his patients in the hospital think about what's your fantasy, what's your dream image, and write it down as fast as you can. Write down whatever comes to mind. And so Freud probably heard about this, so he adapted the technique, and he would ask his analytic patients to go through each image, symbol, character in a dream from beginning to end. And okay, when you think about the very beginning, for instance, let's say in your dream the sun is coming up, it's early in the morning, what immediately pops into your mind without censoring at all? What are some of the things that pop into your mind? And it can be helpful to write these down or to speak them out loud. But you might think dawn, sun rising, illumination, new beginnings, blah, blah, blah. And so you begin in that way to fill out what the dream is saying with that particular symbol. It's kind of like figuring out a word that's missing. In the Gospel of Philip, which is a Gnostic gospel, there's an intriguing sentence that says that Mary Magdalene was in the habit of kissing Jesus on the missing word. The context makes it pretty clear that it was probably mouth, maybe, who knows, but probably mouth. So in the same way, we take each symbol from a dream and we provide the context by coming up with associations to it, right? So now one problem with this is that the associations can take you pretty much anywhere. So, Freud would collect associations. What comes to mind when you think of this? So I associate my dad, what a surprise. And then, and my dad's golf clubs, and my dad was on a train ride and the train went into a tunnel, and Freud would go, I knew sex would come into it eventually, right? So what we do now is we keep the association part, what pops into your head immediately in regard to the dream, keep going, keep generating associations, but keep going back to the dream symbol itself. Don't just wander all over the place. And another variant on this is to describe each symbol to yourself. So some years ago, there was this dream I had where there was a kind of a superhero figure in a blue suit. And I was, what is this? And I was trying to figure it out with associations. And so I was talking to my friend Linda about it. She's a good dream worker. And she said, well, tell me about the blue suit. What comes up when you think about that? And I said, well, this character was wearing kind of a blue print. And I heard myself say that, and I had this aha feeling come over me. And it turned out the image of the blueprint was central to what the dream was trying to tell me. Dreams play with words. They play with our words when we describe the dreams. So sometimes describing out loud the qualities of a symbol, what colors does it have? Does it have an odor? Can you touch it? What does it bring to mind? What memories come up? And in that way, you generate enough context so that when you go back to the dream later, you can fill in the missing pieces. So I start at the beginning because the dream sets the mood, the psychological mood. It's the beginning scene is basically, this is what your situation is usually. And the dream plays out like a little drama or a story. And so if you associate to each of the symbols and stay with each one, then you put them all together, then by the end you should have it. So in the next video, I'll give you some examples.